Okay guys, today's math assignment is actually page 459 in your math book, so you'll be doing page 459, and then there are a few problems after that are review. So I don't want to do any of the problems on page 459 to help you out. I'll come back to this in a minute, but I do want to go ahead and do the problems on page 457. So don't be confused. You're still doing page 459 for today's assignment, but today's lesson is actually page 457. It says, draw a representation for each problem. Solve each problem using whatever strategy makes the most sense to you and show how you solved it. So as long as you show how you solve it, it won't matter how you do it. Janet runs 1/4 of a half-mile race. So if we pretend that this is the race, okay, and we know that Janet runs this much of it, you're asking yourself, what plus what plus what plus what equals 1/2? Okay, the other way to do that is a simple multiplication problem. 1/4 times 1/2. When I multiply fractions, I multiply the numerator straight across and then the denominator straight across, and then I reduce if I need to. 1 times 1 equals 1. 4 times 2 equals 8. Because 1 is my numerator, I'm done, because 1 can't get any smaller, so I can't reduce that. So Janet runs 1/8 of a mile. And that makes sense, because if I come back over here, 1/8 plus 1/8 plus 1/8 plus 1/8 actually equals 1/2. Let's take a look at number 2. Talisha owns 4/5 of a section of land. She plants green beans on 3/4 of her land. What fraction of the entire section is planted with Talisha's green beans? So I can make my chart 0, 4/5. So I just have to figure out what these pieces equal. An easier way for me to figure that out is the standard multiplication way. 4/5 times 3/4. I multiply my numerator straight across. 4 times 3 equals 12. 5 times 4 equals 20. Now these are both even, so I know I can reduce by 2. But I also know that the greatest common factor is 4. So 12 divided by 4 and 20 divided by 4, and I end up with 5/6. Whoops, that's not what I end up with. 3/5. Wow. 3/5. Sorry, guys. And that's why you check your work. 12 divided by 4 is 3, and 20 divided by 4 is 5. So Talisha actually, if you add these up, okay, that's 3/5. Let's take a look at number 3. 2/3 times 3/8. I'm going to multiply straight across. I'll do better this time, I promise. 2 times 3 is 6. 3 times 8 is 24. And I happen to know that 6 is a factor of 24, so I can divide the numerator and the denominator by 6. 6 divided by 6 is 1. 24 divided by 6 is 4. So my answer is 1/4. For number 4, multiply my numerator straight across. 5 times 1 is 5. 6 times 4 is 24. Now I can figure out if they have any factors in common, and I know that the only factors of 5 are 1 and 5, and I know that 5 doesn't go into 24, so I know I'm done. And although you aren't doing this page today for your assignment, we were just doing that for practice, you are going to be doing page 459 and some practice problems. So let's take a look at page 459 so that I can give you some pointers. Rachel runs 2/3 of a mile every day. How many miles does she run in 6 days? That's a good place to start. 2/3 times 6. My hint is if you put the 6 over 1, it'll help you see it easier. For number 2, the bike path near Margaret's house is 24 miles long. She rides 3/8 of the way around the path. How many miles does she ride? Same hint. I would put it over 1. Martin runs 1.5 miles a day. How many miles does he run in 5 days? Remember what we talked about the other day. When you multiply mixed numbers, the best thing to do is to turn that mixed number into an improper fraction. So way back in November and December, we learned how to do that. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3, and I keep the same denominator, 3 over 2. Then I multiply 1.5, which is 3 over 2, times 5. And those are my pointers for page 459. So make sure that you do page 459 in your book and then go on to Canvas and do assignment 7.1.8, and there will be some other problems at the bottom of that aren't in your book.